Fox News host Laura Ingraham has come up with might be one of the worst takes on the January 6th Select Committee hearing from earlier in this week. On her program Wednesday evening, Ingraham had this to say. And she was talking about COVID and Fauci first, so that's why this first part makes no sense. Fauci has no one to blame but himself. Ditto for the Capitol Police who testified on Wednesday. Despite the crowds they had known for weeks would show up at the Capitol on January 6th, the Capitol Police couldn't hold the Capitol perimeter that day. That in itself is a scandal. Instead of examining why that happened, they turned to blaming President Trump, who they all obviously despise. That's right, she watched the testimony that these police officers gave in front of that committee this week and said, you know what? Y'all have nobody but yourselves to blame. It's your own fault that you got your asses kicked by these Trump supporters. It's your own fault that they were screaming racial slurs at you. Sure, Laura, that's exactly what happened. But here's the thing. As stupid as her statement is, all it does is further prove the point that the committee's trying to make. That these were dangerous and deranged individuals storming the Capitol. And Ingraham also makes another admission. One that Republicans have been trying to downplay. They knew for weeks what was being planned at that Capitol. And they failed to prepare for it. Now, I'm not going to lie. She's not completely wrong about that. Let's be honest. They did know for weeks. They absolutely 100% knew for weeks. Some individuals who touched down in Washington, D.C. a day or two before that riot happened were arrested on the spot for comments they had made. Okay, so they did know. Here's the problem, though. Those officers who testified before Congress, it wasn't their decision. You see, Laura, in a situation like that, you would need the National Guard, not just a Capitol Police force that is ill-equipped to handle a mob of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rabid Trump supporters. You would have needed the National Guard. Now, who could have called the National Guard in? Let's see, you've already tried to say Nancy Pelosi could have, but she doesn't have that authority. Schumer in the Senate, well, he doesn't have that authority. That would actually have to come from Trump himself. Trump himself. So, we knew for weeks he had the authority to do something about it. He failed to do that, Laura. And you want to sit there and blame those police officers that were right there on the front lines? We've seen the footage. We've now seen the body cam footage. You can't whitewash this, Laura, even though you're doing your best to try. God bless you, right? You're such a disgusting excuse for a human being. But if you want to blame somebody for not being prepared, for not giving people the tools necessary to protect themselves, that all rests with Donald Trump, which means he's just kind of further implicated in being a total failure of that day, right? Because that is exactly what happened. The officers who were protecting members of Congress did not deserve what happened to them. It is not their fault that this happened to them. The fault blames with the people who riled them up speaking at that Stop the Steal rally earlier that day, and ultimately with Donald Trump, who sat by watching and loving every second of this, delaying the deployment of the National Guard. Those are the people to blame, but don't expect to ever hear that from Fox. They're trying to craft a new narrative. Mo Brooks, trying to blame these Capitol Police officers like, why didn't they do something? I knew it was going to happen. Laura Ingraham doing the same thing. This is the new talking point, at least for now, that somehow everybody knew they were going to be violent because, hey, that's what Trump supporters do, right? Yeah, not exactly the best defense, but sure, run with it for a while because we can see the footage and we know who's really to blame. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel for fresh content 7 days a week.